Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News. Plenty to dive into today. The North American Challengers Qualifier officially underway. Lots going on that front, and a gauntlet of matches going to be coming up later today and in the coming days as well. But also, lots of frustration really about the new format they have confirmed for Masters and Champions this season. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Nearly at 3/4 of the way there to 10k. Love to see it. Firstly, this from Valor Leaks, there's no new agent or map in Episode 4 Act 2. Instead, they're choosing to focus on agent balance, existing maps, promoting good player behavior, etc, etc. So interesting stuff, no new agent or map coming as of yet. They're going to do some more balancing things. There has still been some talk, like is Omen going to get a buff, is Jet going to get a nerf, like, maybe they're going to consider something here. Of course, they probably don't want to change all that much while, there's a major qualifier going on, so they're probably going to leave it until a little bit after this, most certainly. This also, first of all, from Evil Geniuses, I did wonder when this was going to get confirmed, but yes, your boy Dre, alongside Reformed and Jorgemo, they're going to join that, the Evil Geniuses roster going forward. So, of course, they kind of had to announce this today, or yesterday, because, the qualifiers were coming up in just a few hours' time. So that's to confirm their team. Of course, if they don't do too well here, then, things will certainly change around. Of course, they've got to get through the second one as well, if they don't qualify through this one. And, it's an absolute gauntlet of a bracket, to be honest. Not many teams are going to get through this. Very exciting matches over the coming days. But before that, let's dive into this. So, yes, the Challengers start dates are as follows. So, Latin America, Southeast Asia, EMEA, February the 11th, alongside North America as well. The other regions kind of just after that one. But, lots of talk about the format for the upcoming season, as VLR.GG point out right here from this article. Masters and Champions for this season looks as follows. Now, it really does surprise me this, because I'm relatively new to Valorant esports, just understanding what their thought process is here for a Masters tournament, and just really the format in general, because, from Counter-Strike, for example, there's way more tournaments than there is in Valorant right now. So this is the Masters slots. Now, in general, it seems like EMEA and North America, the two theoretically strongest regions, I guess you could say, have been quite significantly discounted, especially in Champions, we'll look at here in a second. So now for Masters, there's 12 teams only. I really wish there was more than 12. I feel like there should be more than 12, but maybe that's just me. 2 from North America, 1 from Brazil. So first of all, Brazilian, the Brazil LATAM region, and Latin America as well. So there's a second slot that Brazil and the Latin America region in general will compete for going into Masters. So combined, South America has more slots than North America, which seems strange, right? Because South American teams haven't, they're decent, right? Don't get me wrong, but they haven't quite achieved what the same as the North American teams have in terms of winning events and stuff like this, getting to grand finals. Hasn't really happened, right? So why does South America have more spots than North America? Personally, I don't really understand that one. Then there's EMEA that has only 3 slots now, despite the EMEA region is absolutely stacked and has so many teams from so many regions across the whole of Europe, and then of course Middle East and Africa as well. That's crazy to me. And then of course you've got Southeast Asia, Korea, Japan with 4 slots between them. So kind of the Asian region has 1 more slot than the European region does, and then South America has more slots than North America. So definitely a lot of concern and complaints really about the way this is being formatted. And then we look at Champions as well, which looks like this. So 16 teams at Champions, but again, North America and Europe, I believe, have fallen out here, because now there's only 2 NA teams plus 1 from the NALCQ. Again, you see here, South American region, they get 4 slots between them, whereas EMEA only gets 3, which I just can't really understand the thought process here, just because EMEA, they won champions right there, to send they won champions, the strongest region quite clearly right now, but yet they're getting disadvantaged quite significantly. And then, of course, you've got an APAC LCQ, you got 2 teams from the Australian region, Australian Pacific, and still they get 2 slots, whereas the EMEA teams only get 3, right? Which makes me think, a lot of these teams, have they really achieved that much on the international stage? Of course, the Asian region's got a fair few slots as well. Just, I don't really understand the thought process behind this one. I guess they want to appeal to more of the Asian market, right? Maybe that's kind of the thought process here. And so yeah, only 12 teams at Masters, only 16 teams at Champions. To me, I think it should be more, right? Because what I don't like really about this format in general, maybe it's just me on this one, right? But for FPS games in general, I really feel like it's better to have just more tournaments throughout the season. The way that it works right now is pretty much you get to these open qualifiers, right? You're trying to qualify for challenges. You don't necessarily have to win the event, you just have to qualify for challenges. So once you qualify for challenges, it's then about qualifying for Masters. Okay, you want to win Masters, but winning Masters is really just about qualifying for Champions. And then, the next challenges round is the same thing for the next Masters event. So it's there's no real champions until the end of the year, which I don't really like. I'd much prefer if there were many tournaments throughout the season, and, winning those tournaments gave you points towards qualifying for Champions or something like that, as opposed to right now, it's kind of you're just winning to qualify, and therefore some regions are going to get benefited more than other regions, right? It should be on results, not just, giving free passes to certain organizations in certain regions. I don't know. That's just my take. I also think there should be more teams at these events. Champions, I think, could be at least 24. Great to see some early upsets, right, in these tournaments. Also give some of the early teams a little, well, chance to warm up, right, for the rest of the tournament. I don't know. I think there's way better ways to do this, to be honest. Just taking some lessons from maybe other FPS games, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm intrigued to your thoughts down below. This is also from Lucas Rojo, right, who's now the coach from Movistar Riders. EMEA wins champions. You cut one slot for the most important composition. I simply don't get it. I'd be intrigued to hear if there is ever an explanation that comes out as to why exactly they have made these changes. But well, let's talk about the North American VCT qualifier on a slightly more positive note. My top 4 for the qualifier is as follows, as Leaf says, from Cloud9, a crew, a ghost, a guard, and knight. So that is an interesting set of 4, especially with, well, some of the other teams that we are going to see in this bracket, as we're going to dive into right about now. One of those teams, of course, being TSM. They are officially back in business here, playing in yesterday's matches. They, well, they get over line relatively comfortably, but of course, what's going to happen today, we shall see. TSM didn't have the greatest time. They, of course, make the moves kind of recently. They played Girl Kisses, I'm pretty sure, in the very first round. And yes, these are the teams that they played against. So it's also, I thought, was pretty funny. If you lose to any of these team names, we got to talk about it, right? So TSM are playing Girl Kisses, FaZe Clan played Mummy, Evil Geniuses, Asian Ravioli, and Complexity up against Burger Gaming. I believe all the favourites won these matches, so, you know, no issues at the end of the day. And I'm pretty sure all these 4 teams got through to the bracket play. But now the real challenge begins for some of these organisations. This match, for example, TSM versus Girl Kisses, it was a 2-0. Pretty comfortably, right on Haven, it was 13-5. Ascent goes 13-3. And, I mean, yeah, Levy had some fantastic stuff. I believe there was a highlight here where the lone got like an ace or something that I might share for you guys at the end of the video. But yeah, TSM, this is generally how you find these round of 128 matches go. The team that's expected to win will win pretty comfortably indeed. But well, it's to date where things get kind of insane. As Steel says right here, he was just kind of joking around, making people, you know, think, oh wow, did T1 lose or something? Don't worry, they got through safe and sound. But as he says, O2 for the day. GG's tough loss, sorry. And because there was so many tweets like this coming out, we got this from Asuna as well. 100 Thieves, of course, they were already through to challenges. They don't have to worry about this qualifier. And again, 2-0 clean win. Going to be starting our next best of 3 soon. Because I guess just memeing all the people who were doing very similar things on the timeline at the same time when all these games were going down. That leaves us with the bracket as follows. So, well, this is the bracket. So I'm just going to scroll this for you guys real quick, just to see which teams, because pretty much all the favourites qualified here. Version 1 saw Complexity, like a crew they got through. Pioneers, no real issues there. Like at Rise Nation, of course, built by gamers. See how many teams there are here already, right? That are only 4 of these spots get through from this qualifier, then 4 from the next one. Sonic's Gen.G, T1, of course, Evil Geniuses. Most of these teams didn't even lose a map on their way to the round of 32. XZ, of course, there as well, kind of big favourites, right, to maybe go through. Renegade here, NRG, of course, their new roster, like Ghost Gaming, Ambox, their new team, Luminosity, we know they're going to be pretty good. FaZe Clan, of course, announced yesterday, the Guard, TSM, like, how many teams do you want, right? Just seems crazy how few teams go to, you know, Masters and Champions in light of how stacked this qualifier is already. That then leaves us with the bracket as follows. So this is half of the bracket. This is only half of it, right? XL Illusion, like, for example, NRG are going to play, well, maybe Ghost or Ambox, right? Even the first round here, you've got FaZe versus the Guards. They play in the first round. Winner of that plays potentially Luminosity if they win this one. So tough matches for sure for a lot of these organizations. You've got to get through a monster bracket, to be honest, here to actually make your way out. There is, of course, winners bracket, losers bracket here as well. The other half of it is as follows. So version 1 are up here, like a crew play Synergy round 1, built by gamers Sonic. So generally, I think it's probably more stacked on the bottom half of the bracket, but it's still, like, not like there's bad teams up here by any means. T1 Evil Geniuses, another first round matchup here. So kind of crazy how stacked this is. Very exciting to see how these matchups do transpire over the coming days. And well, this also from Larry Banks, right, new on FaZe. Blue Mubby's back out 2-0. Fantastic tweet. Definitely going to give this guy a follow, to be honest, because, you know, definitely if he's tweeting entertaining stuff out like this, probably deserves a mention. And just to say this before we finish up the video, the kind of UI they had coming up right here for the main stream was kind of interesting because for the TSM guys, because they have TSM FTX, really here it should say their gamer tag, right? It should say their name, but it's tough to say, well, it's tough to tell who is who, because it just said TSM FTX for everyone. I believe they might be fixing this at some point, but it was pretty funny anyway. But very much intrigued to your thoughts down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting the like button tells the YouTube gods this is a good video. I just like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Valorant community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
Finds it no problem, Frenzy. New meta question mark. Cleans things up around the site. A little bit extra afterwards, and GK take the pistol.
Yeah, it's just so tough if you guess wrong with where you put your numbers in a round like this. You've got all this speed coming at you. You got the frenzy in play, good flashes, good smokes, clean movement all around here. Alone, pace to kick off the second half. That's
one enemy remaining.
That's 3.
Spike planted.
They are so dead.
Pulling concussing.
Did you see their faces? Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.